We have with us Commissioner Renee Cahoon, who is running for re-election for one of two seats on the Nags Board of Commissioners. Renee, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
My first question for you is, you're asking the voters to return you to the office. Why should they vote for you?
I think experience counts. I think my passion for Nags Head. I still love my town, and every day's a new day. Every issue's a new issue. So I think I bring a perspective of both the past as well as the future coming to Nags Head.
Now that the beach nourishment is almost complete, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm great. I'm excited. It's ironic that the #1 complaint of the summer is it's too far to get to the water. So I think it turned out really well. I think time will tell how it's going to be evaluated. I know we had a preliminary report about we've lost 100,000 cubic yards. My question, and I'm waiting for the engineer to answer that, is was that 100,000 cubic yards in one certain section, or was it totally spread out over the beach? But overall, I think it's holding up well. We've had some nor'easters, we've had a hurricane, even though it came up mainly up the Sound, but I'm getting a lot of positive responses. People are now starting to go back and rent in places that they weren't going to because there was no beach. So I think financially it's going to be good for the town in the long run.
Do you foresee future tax increases in order to maintain or increase revenues?
No. I think Nags Head has always been pretty fiscally prudent. I don't play the game that some towns play of raising a tax rate just because some other town does that. I think Nags Head revenues have been pretty solid. Occupancy tax is one that's been pretty constant throughout. So I don't think Nags Head should base its tax rate on what other towns are doing. We should base our tax rate on what our needs are in order to provide the services for our town.
How does the current way the county divide tax revenues affect your position on tax increases?
I don't think it affects how Nags Head does business and how I personally do business. I know that there are towns that do that, and I know there are towns that want to change the way that the distribution is done. Nags Head collects on average 24% of the occupancy tax. We get back about 18%. So anybody that really wants to complain about not getting their fair share, Nags Head should be the one that does it. There are a lot of people that are upset about the 2-cent beach nourishment, but we haven't complained when other towns have gone up. We've gone about our business, and basing on population would only hurt those people that provide the most income. And again, Hatteras Island contributes 33% to occupancy tax, Nags Head about 24%, Duck and Kill Devil Hills are next in line. So the biggest population centers throughout Dare County produce the least amount of revenue.
Is there any unfinished business or a new major item you wish to work on in your next term?
Oh gosh, there's always projects that are exciting to come about. I think this year the beach nourishment was a really good thing to have come about. The reopening of Jeanette's Pier was a great project. So as far as from my perspective with the town, yes, we plan on putting a whalebone park down there to join Jeanette's Pier, so I think that's going to be another facet to that area. My goal has always been to keep on with multi-use paths. We want to really get down in the next cycle as far as coming down to Bonnet Street and getting a bike path to the school, all the way to the school. So I'd like to have a bike path from all the way to the bridge at Washington Balm. I'd like to do more soundside work. One of the ladies that was in the League of Women Voters Forum the other night didn't get to ask her question. So I went up after the forum and asked her what was her question. And her question was, more pedestrian, what did I plan to do on the Sound? And I talked about extending the multi-use path down 158, which she thought was a great idea. And the other thing that I've been looking at is how can we go along Soundside Road? And I've asked the manager to take a look at who owns on the other side of the riprap. It's the Sound Waters. Is there any way to put like a nice pier and pavilion out there so we could have kayak launches or have places for our people either walking or using bikes to go over to the Sound that doesn't need a big parking lot? We need more pedestrian-friendly or bike-friendly areas, and I think that area of Soundside Road would make a great place because you've got a way to get to it with a stoplight on 158, which to me is real important about crossing. I don't want to encourage anybody to cross 158 that doesn't have a stoplight where they can cross safely. So, yeah, there's always things that I'd like to do. There's always new projects. The town is always evolving. So it's always nice to be progressive and move forward.
We just finished talking to Commissioner Renee Cahoon, who is running for re-election for one of 2 seats on the Nags Board of Commissioners. Renee, thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you.